Hey everybody, today we're going to do the video on rubber track versus steel track. So there's just pros and cons to both. I mean, here we have steel on this side and we have rubber on the other side. So to give you the visual, that's what we got. You got steel cleats, you got rubber cleats, you got about the same depth of traction. The pros and cons are going to be this one, if you're in the woods, a steel track is going to be more superior just because it's not going to get tore up so much. In the woods, when you're hitting stumps and sticks and all the garbage, rubber track will get tore up. As you run it through the undercarriage, it'll get tore up. It'll tear the lugs off. And with a steel track, you don't have to worry about that. Now, if you're working on pavement and concrete, these don't have a ton of ground pressure. So they won't rip it up, but they will leave marks, if that makes sense. And not so much on concrete, but blacktop. Because you do have the cleats, if you turn them aggressively, you'll leave marks. Again, you won't rip it up, but you will leave marks. And then a rubber track's not going to do that. Because they're only running like 4 pounds of ground pressure, you're not really putting a lot of force on your solid surfaces, but you will have a solid surface that doesn't have any give. So I'm just going to run it around to give you a little bit of a visual on marks and so forth. I'm going to rotate in a circle one way, then the other way, and you guys can kind of make your own conclusion on these. See if my guys go the other way instead of going through the video. Oh, look at that. Now, you will feel more of your terrain too in the steel track. So there's a rock here. So as you can see, when I go over with the steel track, I can obviously feel it more than with a rubber track, because they have give, not nearly as noticeable. It just kind of glides over. So that's another thing to consider. A steel track is going to rip stuff up. There's a steel track going sideways. I mean, just right there you can see the difference. There's a rubber track going sideways. So they just have more give to them, and they do have more traction to them. You know, obviously they go hand in hand, but they got more traction because they have more bite. I'm going to clean some of this up a little bit, but you will have to do that a little bit more with the steel tracks. But you're going to have more traction. So if you're working in really ugly terrain and you got a lot of mud and a lot of roots, this is definitely going to be an option to get you that you're not using your machine to take yourself out constantly. But once you're in soft terrain, it's not bad. I mean, they ride about the same otherwise, and you're not going to notice a huge difference as far as soft surfaces, sod, and so forth. But whenever you get into a hard surface, you will notice it a lot more. So there you go. That kind of gives you the full visual of one to the other. I mean, don't get me wrong. We still tear up some with the rubber track, but the steel track, because that side is cutting in, it's a deeper cut and it's not as cosmetic. This was a little bit soft already, so it made it a little bit more dramatic, but you know, you guys are going to use it in the soft dirt. So just wanted to give you the visual on the steel track versus the rubber track. We usually have both here. Sometimes we are sold out. We've been sold out here for about 2 weeks, but we're getting more in. That's something that we can facilitate, usually day of sale. But if you are interested in them, I would say let the ladies know ahead of time. That way we can make sure if you're on the way, we have a set aside. If you're doing a pre-order, we make sure we have a set for you, because I don't want to see you try to ship them out. They are heavy. You know, that's another aspect of it. They're heavy, so they give your machine more weight. So pros and cons, there's both. There's no right answer to steel versus rubber. Your steel is going to last longer. It's going to give you a little bit more bite, but it's going to ride rougher. Your rubber is going to ride smoother. It's going to mark less. So again, there's no real right or wrong answer. It's just what you need at the time you need it. If you guys are interested, give us a call. We'll catch you on the next video. The phone number is 570-765-9338. We appreciate everybody watching. Have a good one.